Okay.
Ian, chug those things.
I know.
My dad's gonna take an
Over
interview
here.
video. Sit over here, guys.
This is a debrief.
A debrief.
Yep. Luke, you want to join him?
Oh, I missed the chair. It's okay.
We only got 2 chairs.
Put the water bottle down.
General Ian got it. Don't want to sit on the bear canister, huh?
No.
Okay.
I think Senator Ian might be better.
Senator Wilnerd, that is.
Senator Wilnerd.
Okay, so you said you were going to get up at 4. What time did you actually get up?
I actually got up at 3:45.
3:45.
I couldn't sleep the whole night.
All right. And you guys got up at the same time, almost immediately?
Yeah, I was about the same. I had trouble sleeping. So I was sort of waiting that last hour, and about 3:45 when I heard Jim going, I said, I'm going.
So you took our tent poles, which collapsed our tent, so I left me in a bivvy sort of situation.
How's that?
It was all right. I slept fine until the sun came up. What'd you take?
I took a lot of food and water, and my down coat, which proved to be extremely necessary. It was very cold. And my raincoat. And I think that's it.
Food?
Food, water, raincoat.
How many
down
miles
coat.
did you go?
16.
Yeah.
I think it ended up being about 16.
Starting point Crabtree Meadows.
Starting point lower Crabtree Meadow.
Okay.
Because apparently we found out that there's a higher one.
Okay.
And I think it ended up being about 16 miles.
So tell me, mile by mile, what was it like?
Well, going there, the beginning was quite different than our experience going back. The beginning, it was very dark. We didn't see much. It was nice and cool out. And it was, once we came back, we realized you're sort of hiking along a stream that first mile. And then you go through a bit of a desert when you turn up towards the high lakes and Whitney. And once you get to those lakes and you're above the tree line, it's beautiful.
It's really alpine, lots of springs, and just an abundance of water. There's no
Around where? Before Guitar Lake?
before and after. There are 2, I think, Hitchcock lakes.
Yeah.
There are 2 lakes above Guitar that are really big and also have a lot of streams around them and springs. So totally an abundance of water until you start the switchbacks.
Yeah. So you started at 4, roughly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we started at about 4.
Luke led the charge?
We took kind of a small break just past Guitar Lake, and then after that I was going about I don't know 20 minutes per mile right up the switchbacks all the way up to Whitney. I don't know, I didn't really stop. I felt good, my pack was light, so I went all the way up there pretty quickly.
Kind of like a training run, sort of?
It wasn't really like a run. It was just going up there quickly. Runs felt a lot different than that. But I don't know.
We met some Austrians who asked, are you, me and Ian hiked together, we met some Austrians who asked, are you guys with that maniac who's running up the trail? And we were like, I think so.
Yeah, he just lost us very, very quickly. He just shot up that mountain.
When did Luke take off?
Basically, right after Guitar Lake,
Yeah,
I think.
right after it got
We
getting steep.
We stayed together before then, though.
Lots of people at Guitar Lake?
Camping?
Yeah.
Not really.
There were a lot of people who we met on the way down who said they were going to Guitar Lake, so I imagine it's pretty crowded tonight for some reason.
Tonight it'll be crowded. On our way up, there were probably like 4 or 5 people staying at Guitar Lake.
So when did it get light enough you could turn your headlamps off?
At Timberline Lake, right after Timberline Lake. I remember because we took pictures of the sunrise on the mountains, but the moon was still visible, so it was the color of the sunrise on the mountains with the moon and sort of blue sky. It was perfect, and that's when we turned our headlights off.
Okay.
We found out that Timberline Lake, you can't camp there.
Can't camp there.
No camping.
It's kind of more of a. It's got like 15 feet of marsh around the lake, so you
Oh.
can't really access the lake very much.
It's very much a pond compared to most lakes.
Yeah, it's kind of small.
So when did Luke get on the top?
I was on the top at 8:24.
8:24. And you guys, when did you guys get on the top?
Around 10.
Around 10, yeah.
I kind of forgot to check, but it was around 10.
Kind of impressive from Trail Crest over.
Yeah, that was awesome from Trail Crest over. We learned that there were a lot of day hikers from Whitney Portal,
Yeah.
and that just sounds like hell, because it's like 9 miles to Trail Crest from Whitney Portal,
Yeah.
and then another 2 miles of just brutalness.
So they did 22, but you guys did 16 or so.
Yeah.
We did 16, but there were people that were wondering whether or not they should continue all the way up
Yeah.
when we were on our way
Because of altitude sickness.
down. And they weren't sure they were going to get back to their car in time.
And you felt pretty acclimated and strong.
Yeah, with a lot of water, with
Mhm.
help from water.
Yeah.
It was. I sort of felt it right after Guitar Lake. I started to feel the altitude, but about 30 minutes later, it just sort of stopped, and I sort of adjusted.
I think we kind of got into a groove, just kept walking,
Yeah.
taking like 20-second breaks every 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
That helped a lot.
Except for Luke, he just
Except
kept
for
going.
Luke.
Yeah, I did. I went from Guitar Lake to the top without stopping.
We
But
were-
not quite running, just walking fast.
Just really speedy walking.
Yeah.
And you said a lot of the reason you didn't stop because if you did stop, you'd freeze.
Oh yeah, it was freezing, and I was just wearing this long sleeve. I had taken off my rain jacket. At I don't know. I think it was. That was right about at Timberline Lake, and back down there was kind of warm, but it got really breezy and cold up there.
Yeah.
So
We
I kinda
definitely
had to keep going to not freeze to death.
beat the warming of the day.
So were people spending the night in the cabin or around the cabin?
No.
We didn't notice that. We did notice windbreakers around sites that it seemed like you could put a tent in.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
There was a spot for like 3 tents at Trail Crest that were essentially flat places with rock walls built up for
And
wind protection.
The view of the Owens Valley was good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially now because there are no fires, so it wasn't smoky, or it wasn't very smoky. No clouds.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been a better day to summit.
Cool.
I think the view back towards the Sierras in the other direction was more impressive than the Owens
Yeah.
Valley.
Yeah.
I think we could see where Thousand Island Lake is
Uh-huh.
because of the 2 peaks right next to each other. I think we could see that. I was trying to point that out too, Ian.
How many people were on the top?
At one time or
Yeah.
total?
I think 9 o'clock was just about the busiest time, and I don't know, it was pretty crowded. There's kind of a big rocky area that's just about the highest point up there that everyone likes to go to, and I don't know, just around that area at any one time, while there's a scout troop there might have been over 40 people.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. At times it was crowded. At other times there were like 5 people up there, 5
And
or
then
10. But
people coming and going on the trail
yeah,
continually.
yeah, lots of people coming and going.
Trail was wide enough you could pass each other.
Not really. You kind of had to stop and let them go.
So was there any place where if you tripped and fell off the trail, you'd be dead?
For sure. Probably 5 or 6 spots.
Yeah. Going up was definitely a lot more shocking, and I was at one point I was a bit hesitant. Jim gave me one of the hiking poles, and that helped a lot. But
Yeah.
and then there's also right near the top, there was a snowfield, and that snowfield was quite slick. And me and Jim pulled aside to let some other people pass, and then we had to almost traverse down the snowfield, which if you slipped there, it would not have been a good thing.
You get hurt, but
Yeah, you
I
wouldn't
don't
die.
think you die.
Was it different than what you expected?
Yeah. From what I expected, going up was it was hard because of the elevation, but it was easy because it wasn't ever incredibly steep, and there was it wasn't ever like a staircase.
Yeah.
And there was a trail the whole way, which was nice. The elevation obviously makes it really hard, but going down sucked. Going down was brutal.
Did you when you got up at that elevation? Did you have to stop more often?
I don't know. You didn't stop at all.
I think near Guitar Lake we stopped. I was stopping at the probably 30 minutes after that. I felt like stopping a bit more, but for some reason, as the day went on, I felt more comfortable with the elevation.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, that probably means you're pretty well adapted to the altitude now.
Or something.
So it's like a workout training day. You'll be animals tomorrow.
Hopefully, or we'll be
Or super tired. One or the
super
other.
tired tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel super tired.
Yeah.
I have pretty bad trail slap and my knees hurt.
Boots were okay. No blisters.
I started feeling a hot spot, but once we got onto flat ground, it went away.
I'm glad I got my running shoes.
I'll bet. So you needed a down coat because it was cold up there,
Yeah,
windy.
super windy,
Yeah.
cold windy. Some people started at 2 in the morning and got there after us.
Wow.
Yeah,
So what time did you guys start down?
11:30.
Okay. You had lunch up there?
Mm-hmm. And kind of on the way up too. We stopped to eat.
Awesome.
Eating helped a lot. Eating and drinking water helped quite a bit.
2 liters was sufficient.
Just barely.
Jim had 2 liters. How many did you guys have?
I had 2 liters. Going up, I felt fine, but by the time I was going down ready to leave the summit, I only had about half a liter left.
Yeah.
And in the heat of the day, all the way down here, that just wasn't enough.
But you didn't stop and refill.
We didn't stop and refill when we easily could have.
Just felt like getting it over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were so many springs that if it's the same condition that it was today for us, you don't even need a filter. There are like 12 springs up there,
Huh?
probably.
Animals up on the top.
I saw some birds.
At the trail crest,
Trail crest, there's a marmot.
there's a marmot that just seemed extremely comfortable up there.
Yeah,
He was looking for you to drop your pack
yeah.
and leave it and go over to the summit.
There was somebody who left their filled wag bag at Trail Crest.
Oh no. You
Yeah.
don't know who it was though.
No.
There were two women who came to Trail Crest with full packs who were finishing the JMT
Oh, okay.
on day 17.
Nice. Did you get a feel for where some of the people were from?
Some of the people. We were asked which ward we were in, and I said no ward.
There were a lot of big groups that came through here.
Yeah. One person was from Minnesota, or no, Michigan,
Yeah.
which is a long ways away.
Yeah. We didn't ask a lot of people where they're from.
Californians.
Yeah.
There was one lady from Reno who was
Mhm.
probably 60.
Yeah.
We saw your old friend, the 78-year-old guy,
Oh yeah?
and his daughter and grandchildren.
Did they go to the top or just to Trail Crest?
They seemed like they were going to stop at Hitchcock Lakes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where they seemed they were going to stop. That's where they were waiting to regroup, and it seemed a little late in the day to go all the way to Trail Crest.
Right.
So,
We passed the groups of Boy Scouts that broke Jim's sunglasses, and then the ones that we were sort of racing with yesterday.
Yeah.
Just before Timberline Lake, they must have got a much earlier start, but we left the top almost before all of them got up there.
Huh.
Wait, they were still going up?
Yeah, we were at Trail Crest and they were at Guitar Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Is I think what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then we passed them before Timberline also.
And they had camped at Guitar Lake.
No, they camped at the upper meadow. And I think also started before us.
So were people saying, you started from lower Crabtree? Are you crazy?
We didn't really tell a lot of people that.
No.
I think most people were amazed by Luke's speed
Yeah.
and didn't really care where we started
Yeah.
or when we started.
Because they were trudging along, barely moving.
There were some people that really looked like they were having problems.
Huh.
That were really slow going. I taught.
There was a lady with bad altitude sickness up there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
It's no good.
Somebody tell her to turn around and go back.
Mm-hmm.
I taught Luke and Ian pressure breathing.
Cool.
Whether or not they'd adopted that is a different story.
I used LO.
Yeah.
Cool.
The people were incredibly nice going up. They said, "Hi, you're doing a great job. It's a wonderful day at the summit." But then going down, they were just like, "Ugh."
When you were going down and they were going up?
When we were going up, they were nice. When we were going down and they were going up, they just grunted at us mostly.
Because they were hurting.
Yeah, the people that late in the day going up were seemingly about done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got out of everybody's way.
And what time did you get back here to Crabtree Meadow?
Oh, I don't know what time is it.
It
now?
was 3:30.
Okay. Wow, what a day.
What a day.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys did it.
I'm glad to be done.
About 11 and a half hours up and down.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we took a long break on top. We hung out on top for a while.
I was on the summit for over 3 hours.
Yeah.
Did you all three start down together?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We
And
went the entire way down together.
yeah. I thought we kept a pretty good pace going down, but that's because I was in the lead. I don't know what you guys thought.
It was good.
No, you did a good job leading. It was good pace.
Once you get to Guitar Lake from the top, your feet start hurting.
Just seemed like forever to get to Guitar Lake in the morning and coming back. It's almost like the rest, even though it's harder and steeper, it's more interesting and keeps you more occupied than the less scenic, just trees you walk through
Yeah.
to Guitar Lake from here.
When did the trees stop? Below Guitar Lake?
Pretty much
Around.
around Guitar, like right after Timberline Lake is when the trees stopped.
Yeah.
That's where the timberline was. And then, I mean, Guitar Lake was incredibly beautiful. There were flowers all the way up.
Uh-huh.
All the way up. Even past Trail Crest, there were flowers.
Huh.
Just
Good.
hardy flowers. And the springs around Guitar Lake and Hitchcock Lakes created a lot of flowers that were really nice.
Very cool. Well, I think you guys did an awesome day. If we ended the trip right here, you've accomplished something significant.
Yeah. I almost feel
Felt like
like
a big deal.
even though that day wasn't the start of our trip as a whole, it was sort of the start of our trip on the
Kinda-
John Muir Trail.
Kind of the start of the John Muir Trail, it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I made some selections for your blog post about like the top 20 hiking songs.
Okay, good.
I think I got 3 of them.
Good. Okay, I'll shut this off.
Okay.